Hey boys and girls, it's Mrs. Varner. I decided to hop on today to read you guys a book. It's a 3.4, so when I get done you can take an AR test on it. And the book that I chose was Golly, Gump Swallowed a Fly. It's one of my favorite stories. I'm going to turn the phone around so that you guys can see the picture real quick. Alright. Golly, Gump swallowed a fly. When Golly Gump went to the fair, he won first prize for yawning. Golly Gump was the best yarner for miles around. His yawn was wider and taller and louder than anyone else's. When he got home, Golly put his prize on a gatepost and started swinging back and forth, yawning and yawning. As he was swinging, a fly flew by. Just at that moment, Golly yawned his first prize yawn, and I don't know how, and I don't know why, but Golly Gump swallowed that fly. Uh-oh. Now Golly was in trouble. He could feel that fly inside him, buzzing round and round. He didn't know what to do. He jumped off the garden gate and ran up the road yelling, but that didn't help. So he asked himself a question: what catches flies? And he told himself the answer: spiders. Then Golly knew just what to do. He opened wide, he opened wider, and Golly Gump swallowed a spider. Then Golly was in a pickle again. He could feel the spider tickling him inside. But the fly must have been too fast for the spider, because he could still feel the fly too, buzzing round and round. Now, Golly did not like that one bit. He leaped up and down the road again. But when that didn't help, he sat down and began to think. He asked himself a question: what catches spiders? And he told himself the answer: birds. So Golly did what he had to do. It's the silliest thing I ever heard, but Golly Gump swallowed a bird. Poor Golly. That made things worse than ever. He could feel the bird flapping inside. He could still feel the spider tickling him, and the fly was buzzing round and round. That made Golly really mad. He was so mad he didn't even have to ask himself a question. He knew what catches birds, all right. Cats. He knew what to do right away. Don't ask me how he managed that, but Golly Gump swallowed a cat. Oh boy, Golly was in bad trouble now. He could hear that cat meowing inside, and feel the bird flapping, and the spider tickling him with its long legs, and the fly buzzing round and round. That's a lot going on in one person's stomach. Just then, a yellow dog came down the road, stopping at every tree to sniff. Can you guess what Golly did next? Old Golly acted like a hog and swallowed down that yellow dog. They should have heard the noise. The dog was howling, the cat was yowling, the bird was flapping, the spider was tickling, and the fly was buzzing round and round. Now Golly swallowed the very next thing he saw coming down the road. Do you know what it was? It was someone big. It was someone tall. It was the dog catcher, net and all. Now Golly was in the worst trouble yet. Inside was the dog catcher yelling, the dog howling, the cat yowling, the bird flapping, the spider tickling, and the fly still buzzing round and round. It felt like a zoo in there. Golly thought until his brain was all worn out, but he couldn't think of anything that catches dog catchers. He was afraid he would have to walk around for the rest of his life with a zoo inside. Then he asked himself a question. What is really scary? Then he stood up. He yelled his loudest yell. If you don't all get out of there, I'm going to swallow a grizzly bear. Ooh, he's angry. Well, that scared him. Golly opened wide and they all ran out. The dog catcher yelling, the dog howling, the cat yowling, the bird flapping, the spider tickling, and the fly buzzing round and round. They all disappeared down the road in a cloud of dust, and Golly started home. He felt so much better without all that company in his stomach. Golly Gump did learn one thing from all that fuss. He learned to cover his mouth when he yawned, and that's something to know. The end.